Rome did not fall because barbarians invaded. It had been dying from the inside for 300 years, and the real causes tell us something uncomfortable about how great civilizations actually end. As you consider the decline of Rome, you might ask, what role did the water supply play in the empire's downfall, given that the Romans built over 1,000 aqueducts, including the 100-kilometer-long Aqua Claudia, completed in 52 AD, which brought water from the Anio River to the city of Rome. In the years leading up to the collapse, Rome was experiencing a period of relative stability, with the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, lasting from 27 BC to 180 AD, during which the Roman Empire reached its peak, with a population of approximately 50 million people, and a network of over 250,000 miles of roads, including the famous Appian Way, built in 312 BC. The Roman economy was thriving, with trade routes stretching from Britain to Egypt, and the Roman Forum, built in 2 BC, serving as a hub of commercial activity, where merchants and traders exchanged goods such as grain, olive oil, and wine. As you explore the Roman economy, you might wonder, how did the widespread use of slave labor, with an estimated 2 million slaves in Italy alone by 100 AD, contribute to the empire's economic instability, particularly given the fact that the Roman Empire was importing over 200,000 slaves per year by the 1st century AD. The main events that led to the fall of Rome were complex and multifaceted, unfolding over several centuries. In 165 AD, the Antonine Plague, which was likely smallpox, swept through the empire, killing an estimated 5 million people, or approximately 10% of the population, and weakening the Roman army, which had been the backbone of the empire's power, with over 250,000 soldiers at its peak. The plague was followed by a series of military reforms, including the creation of the Comitatus, a mobile field army, by Emperor Gallienus in 260 AD, which, while effective in the short term, ultimately led to the army becoming less loyal to Rome and more loyal to their commanders, such as the usurper Emperor Postumus, who ruled Gaul from 260 to 269 AD. As you examine the role of the military in Rome's decline, you might ask, how did the constant pressure of barbarian invasions, including the Gothic War of 248 to 249 AD, and the Persian Wars of 230 to 232 AD, contribute to the empire's instability, particularly given the fact that the Roman legions were fighting on multiple fronts, from Britain to Egypt, and that the empire's military expenditure accounted for over 50% of its annual budget by the 3rd century AD. The economic troubles were further exacerbated by the fact that the Roman currency, the denarius, was debased by 50% in 64 AD, and by 274 AD, the currency had been debased by over 90%, leading to rampant inflation, with prices increasing by over 1,000% in the 3rd century AD. The lead poisoning in the water supply, which was caused by the widespread use of lead pipes, known as fistulae, constructed from over 15,000 tons of lead per year, also had a significant impact on the population's cognitive function, with studies suggesting that even low levels of lead exposure can reduce IQ by up to 10 points, and that the average Roman citizen was exposed to over 10 times the safe level of lead, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The aftermath of Rome's collapse was marked by a significant shift in the balance of power in Europe, with the rise of various barbarian tribes, including the Visigoths, who sacked Rome in 410 AD, and the Vandals, who established a kingdom in North Africa, which lasted from 439 to 534 AD. As you consider the legacy of Rome's decline, you might wonder, what lessons can be learned from the fact that the Western Roman Empire was eventually replaced by a patchwork of smaller, more decentralized kingdoms, such as the Ostrogothic kingdom, which ruled Italy from 493 to 553 AD, and the Frankish kingdom, which ruled Gaul from 481 to 987 AD. The fact that the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, survived for another 1,000 years, until its capital, Constantinople, was conquered by the Ottoman Turks in 1453 AD, suggests that the decline of Rome was not inevitable, and that different choices could have been made to prevent or mitigate the collapse, such as the implementation of more effective economic and military reforms, or the development of more robust institutions, such as the Roman Senate, which had been established in 509 BC. As you reflect on the story of Rome's decline, you are left with a stark realization that even the greatest civilizations are not immune to collapse, and that the seeds of their downfall are often sown in the very systems and institutions that once made them strong, such as the Roman system of governance, which was based on the principles of republicanism and the rule of law, but ultimately gave way to autocracy and corruption, as exemplified by the reign of Emperor Caligula, who ruled from 37 to 41 AD, and was known for his extravagance and tyranny.